Hello everybody, this is BCat100 and welcome back to some more Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Path, the Inherited Turnabout. In the previous episode, we had confronted Kate about the teapot and the angel's recipe, and it looks like her cracks are starting to, or the cracks in her iron wall, I think, that's how Ray put it, are starting to form. On this episode, it's time to break it down. If you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends so they can join in to this investigation. Let's get going. I'm sorry, but Master Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight? That's precisely what I'm saying. This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under the noses. Underneath the card. Take that. Sorry. Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself. But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately. I never said that she used the service cart to move the sculptures. What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around? This is what she used. Take that! And this is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems the shame. Damn it! Every time that there's a good moment. Okay. It seems that this same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio. That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying that she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures? Yes. If the sculptures were placed on the lift trolley and then covered with the tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved around without arousing suspicion. How could that be? So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures. Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking? That was truly impressive. You certainly are Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that he stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does that mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth said. I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it. An ice block with star clusters on it? This seems familiar. A giant block of ice is being... Okay, flashback. The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were originally from Dover's sherbet salon. The two sculptures and the two blocks of ice. I took everything I could, and I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details, but the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover. So it would appear that it would have been easy for her to prepare our glass cases. In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I had melted them, it would look like the ones I stole melted too. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess. Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court. That is all I have to say, but even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it.
What? What do you mean by that?
Heavens! You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations?
There's a certain number of years besides murder. Actually, in real life, murder actually doesn't have a statute, but for a lot of crimes, there's a statute of limitations, which basically means there's a certain amount of time that a case can be tried as is before it goes stale, essentially, before it can't be tried anymore. There's also something called double jeopardy, which I believe we've encountered that before. That basically, if you are being accused of a crime and then you get convicted not guilty, you cannot be accused for the same crime. I don't know why I brought up double jeopardy. It kind of felt right. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page. Murder, 15 years. Theft, 7 years.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years.
Ah! I want to read the rest of that page. If the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. If charges are pressed to demand compensation, the statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. That's going to come in handy later. That's going to be important later. I say that because I do kind of remember the end of this case. That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
So that's how it is.
Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has all been for naught. I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have been able to find the body from 18 years ago. Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body? That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal?
Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden? When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just Shepherd sculptures. If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body? Okay, make sure. Take that!
This is a photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture. I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can you see the body of the victim? It's time to expose the location of the body in the photograph. Take that!
The Gemini sculpture?
Yes, well, it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance. In reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body, but all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it?
Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body? This one right here. Take that!
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Yes, see, when it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. When it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice.
Thank you.
That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal.
This is
a rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is a device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures. By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow, Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture.
That's ridiculous!
So then when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace... That's right, the body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us knowing.
No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? She moved the body to some other room and then dumped it into the stream to the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first and then was found by Delicia.
And eventually the body thawed out and floated to the top. Monsieur Edgeworth, you surely have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body? If you cannot prove that, then there's no way I can accept what you're saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me, and that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did.
Then it is time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
None other than the sketch of beauties. Take that!
Another sketch? Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the women at the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service cart on the left side of the sketch.
Service cart? What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No!
Please wait.
I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in this drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone.
The key detail in the sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake.
The tablecloth? It's light blue.
Maybe light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing underneath the tablecloth.
What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in its sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would have noticed it immediately.
There are 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would have looked like the service cart.
That's...
Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and you used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
I never imagined you would be able to do so much from just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake like you said before? It doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service carts, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates.
The chocolates I gave everyone.
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket.
Now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So, why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through?
That's because
once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart.
Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
If she had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me?
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us.
Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body, where is it now?
I want to say it's inside the fountain, but it was removed already. Nope. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm skipping through this, but you guys can still see it. Anyway, I didn't remember that little tidbit there. Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open.
Out in the open? You mean...
Miss Hall, you are wearing the tablecloth around your waist. The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I'm so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like it's like suicide, and if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Katie!
Kate, what were you thinking? Weren't we always trying to save Mr. Master together?
I could not let myself be arrested, not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over, but I suppose it is too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
Even for Monsieur Shields, I have caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal. The IS-7 incident, don't tell me that you were the true culprit. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? But with that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only want to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them. She sold the sculptures without noticing the body. Monsieur Master would never take another person's life, but because of me, the body vanished and Monsieur Master was found guilty. That kind man, he treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else, and yet...
Kate.
When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of the mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but when I saw the sculpture still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way than to atone for my sins.
It appears I have misunderstood here. It seems she caused the entire incident in order to save Mr. Master. What you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago confuse the two rooms. I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish. She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to find the true culprit. Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you'd attract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden, you and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So, how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit? I see, that's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Yes, and then, Miss Hall, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
What? But that means that person is the true culprit? Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth! Do you not realize what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit beyond the IS-7 incident? Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, she wouldn't let the person who fell for the trap. Wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover? I'm going to make an accusation. What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate. Yes, that is correct, Judge Courtney. I indict? I think it is indict. Excuse me. I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident. Take that! Dame Gustave, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Gusti is...
Mr. Gustavia.
Miss Hall, didn't you believe that if you opened this gallery, the true culprit would come? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not? You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edgeworth. Now would you please tell us the whole truth? Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, I went around to unlock each room. I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling. All that was left was for the trap to do its work. When I heard Monsieur Gustavio was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit, and I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence.
Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way.
I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all this had to be brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Masters as soon as possible.
Kate.
Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even after I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum's opening, with as many witnesses as possible.
I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone.
Mr. Shields. Must be tough on him as well. The one who should be apologizing is me. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields. I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I'm given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way. She tried. She really did. Oh, great. This is what I'm going to have to come back next to while I record this. Wow. In the next episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, The Inherited Turnabout. I think it's time to try to start pursuing the truth now that we have all the information. I'll see you guys later.